Hello everyone, welcome to Lead Code problem discussion. So in this video I would like to discuss about the Lead Code problem, minimum depth of binary tree. So let's look at the problem description. Given a binary tree, find its minimum depth. So the minimum depth is the number of nodes along the shortest path from the root node down to the nearest leaf node. Okay, so let's say we have a binary tree with some nodes. So when we traverse from root node to every leaf node, we explore multiple paths. So we need to find such a path where you have a minimum number of nodes along the path. So we need to return the minimum depth using such a path. So a leaf node is a node with no children. Yeah. So in a binary tree, you always have either 0, 1 or 2 children. So you can have at most 2 children for a given node in a binary tree. So when you have a node with no children, 0 children, that is called as a leaf node. So you will be traversing from root till all the leaf nodes. So let's see examples. We have on root node, the first node will be the root node 3. It has two children 9 and 20, and 20 has two children 15 and 7. So here your leaf nodes are 9 because it doesn't have any children, 9, 15 and 7. So the minimum depth here is the first path that you go from 3 to 9. So you have two nodes in that path, so the minimum depth is 2. Similarly, the second one is you have 2 null, 3 null, 4 null, 5 null, 6. So this is like all the nodes are to the right of the tree. So if you want to see the exact tree, you can go here, just highlight here. So this is how the tree looks: 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have, this is the minimum path and you have 5 nodes in this path. Okay, so let's look more clearly at an example. Yeah, so let's say we have a binary tree here. So the root of the tree is 1 and it has two children 4 and 2, and 2 has two more children like 10 and 2. Okay, so as you know, the leaf nodes here are 4, 10 and 2. So these are the leaf nodes. So we need to explore paths from root till the leaf nodes. So you have 3 paths and you need to return the minimum of these 3 paths. So how when we explore our tree and we try to explore all the paths from root node to the leaf nodes. So whenever we reach a node wherein it doesn't have any children, so that will be our leaf node, and we stop there and we treat that as a path, and we need to find number of nodes in that path. So the idea here is whenever you are at a particular node, so at that node we need to check if that node has any children or not. If it has children, you continue exploring. If it doesn't have any children, that means we have reached a leaf node, so we need to update our minimum depth. So if you consider tree problems, in general tree problems, they will be like similar. So when you take a node in a tree, it will all the nodes will be like similar. The states will be similar. So every node it will have left and right child, or number, there will be some specific number of children. So when you consider binary tree, it is even more similar and symmetric. So every node will have either left either 0, 1 or 2 children. So these kind of problems are best solved using recursion. So recursion is the best method to solve especially binary tree problems. It makes it easier. So before we go into the program, so let's look at some of the pointers and some of the things useful for recursion. So the first thing, as you know, in recursion we call the same function within itself. So that function call sequence, it will go infinitely. So there are two important things that we need to consider for recursion. The first thing is the base condition. So the base condition is very important because when you have an infinite loop in recursion, you need to break at some point. So that is the base condition. So whenever your input is null or you have some specific condition, that will become your base condition and you break your recursion depth there. And the second important thing is what is our objective of the recursive function, what we are trying to achieve. So let's say in this current example we want to find the minimum depth of the tree. So how do we find? So whenever we reach a node which has no children, that means leaf node, so we explored one path, so then we need to update our minimum depth. So that is our objective here. So that is the second important condition. So these two are like our base condition and objective. These two are very important for a recursive function. Okay, so let's look at the source code for this problem. So here we have the function minimum depth. We will be given a root node. So when you look at the constraints, the number of nodes in the tree will be 0 to 10 power 5. So you can have an empty tree as well. The node values will be minus 1000 to 1000. So that should not be a problem because we are not worried about the node values. So we need to return our answer. So initially we will have int max because we are exploring the minimum path. So our initial value will be int max so that we can update the variable with a minimum value. So the first thing will be if root is null, we return 0 because the depth is 0 because there are no nodes in the tree. Then I have wrote a simple utility function for recursion. So we call minimum depth util. We pass the root node. Then the root, when we count the root node, so it will be one node. So we pass 1 as the current depth. So till this node, the depth is 1. So we are going to convert this function to a recursive function. So we will be calling the same function again within this function. So we have current node, we have current depth. So as we discussed, the base condition will be node equal to null. So when node is null, you just return, you don't have to do anything. And the next condition, let's come back to this later. So next, our objective is to find the depth of the tree, minimum depth of the tree. So depth, when we say whenever we reach a leaf node, we need to update our depth. So when do we reach a leaf node? So when a node, if the current node has no left child and right child, so if node of left equal to node of right, because both are null, so this is same as the condition here. So node of left equal to null and node of right equal to null, that means we have a leaf node. So this is same as node of left equal to node of right. So our answer will be the minimum of answer and current depth. So we need to update answer and then return. If the current node is some intermediate node, so it is not a leaf node, it's not a root node, and then you explore the other paths. You continue exploring your path till you reach a leaf node. So you just call the function recursively current node of left with current depth plus 1. You need to add plus 1 because you have already considered the current node and you are going to explore node of left subtree. So you add plus 1. Similarly, node of right and current depth plus 1. So this way you explore all the paths recursively, and whenever you reach a leaf node, you update your answer here and return. And finally, when it finishes, it will break whenever node is null. So and finally you return your answer with the minimum depth. So let's come back to the condition that I have added here. So even without this condition, it works fine, but this is a simple optimization. See, currently you are trying to find minimum depth of the tree. So let's say you have explored some 10 paths. Out of that, you have a minimum depth of some 5, and you have another 20-30 paths in the tree you are further exploring. If you think that those paths are bigger than your current minimum of 5, there is no point in exploring those paths, right? Because you have already reached your minimum of 5. So if anything that is beyond 5, any path that is beyond uh, having nodes beyond 5, it's of no use exploring. So this condition will take care of that, and this is a very good optimization. So if current depth is greater than or equal to answer, so you are going to exceed your answer, so you don't have to explore those things further, so we just return. So this will save a lot of recursive, it will break a lot of recursive calls. So that's it. So let's execute and check. So 22105 is answer, 22105 is expected. Yeah. So runtime is 0 milliseconds. Let's submit and check the runtime. So solution is accepted. So all the test cases have been passed and runtime is 336 milliseconds. Yes. So Thanks for watching. That's it from my side. Please do provide your feedback. Thank you.